You would say that you're privileged enough to have parents that are very understanding, though, luckily, right? So
Yeah.
they didn't really give you too hard of a time. Now,
Right.
what about, do you have any South Asian clients that are maybe a parent's age, cohorts of that sort? Do you feel like they
Yeah.
were maybe a bit overbearing on their children?
Blessed to have very open parents and, um, like luckier than a lot of people. But I
Yeah.
do also want to say, on top of that too, in some ways that was confusing, and just to kind of like normalize this for other kids as well, because there were still a lot of things that maybe all of us as our immediate family could talk about and we were open with. But as soon as, like, let's say we were going to India, right, I kind of felt like I would have to be someone else, right? So that was confusing for me, where I'd be like, oh, like, we usually talk about this at home or whatever. And then my mom would be like, be quiet. So there is like sort of like this private and public persona too, that all of a sudden you're not told about. You're just all of a sudden being told to be quiet. And I think I can see how, in some ways having it more consistent is a little bit, I think it's less, it's, although it's frustrating, it can be less anxiety provoking, because sometimes it's like, wait, can I be myself here? Or why do I feel like we have to put on an act? And no one kind of answered those questions growing up for me. So yes, but I mean, now looking back at it, I think even that experience was all three, like my parents wanting to evolve, right? Kind of change, but also they're kind of judged based on how we all present ourselves and things like that too. And so I think it's like that, also that generational gap between, not even, I guess not generational, but even the gap between coming to America in the 70s, which is when my parents came, and then people living in India now. I think things are changing so much too. So a lot of parents kind of have the idea of like India back then, right? Back when they left, and it's not the same anymore. So there's just a lot of different clashes going on at the same time.
If you want to hear more stories, don't forget to subscribe, comment, and like. To support more youth by youth led projects, visit us at youthspeak.ca, where you can donate and spread youth mental health awareness.
YouthSpeak Performance Charity. Speak, inspire, change.